Welcome to this edition of It's Your City. I'm Karen Abowd, your supervisor for Ward 1, and I'm here to share with you some of the discussion that led to decisions at yesterday's Board of Supervisors meeting. The meeting started on a high note with our special presentations for our length of service awards for employees. Always a good thing. And some of our employees have been with us as long as 25 years. Then we moved on to some issues with the Airport Authority, simply some lease language clarification and that was handled between the Airport Authority and Shade Tree Aviation. The assessor had some tax roll adjustments that needed to be approved. And among Public Works' laundry list of things that the Board of Supervisors needed to take a look at was an extension of the lease agreement with Evans Broadcasting of their radio tower. Because of the recent flooding that we have had, it's tied up Public Works, and moving the tower has taken a little bit longer than planned. They do have a great location in mind, and it will free up property on the Public Works property, but they have 3 months' time in order to accomplish that task. Finance brought before us, first of all, the Audit Committee's recommendation to fund the Employee Efficiency Study. Sheriff's Department has already kicked in some of their general fund monies for that study and been happy with results, and so we will go forward with that and get that study completed. Also, we had to vote on the water refunding bond ordinance for both the water bonds and the sewer bonds. In voting that in, it saves the city and the citizens a considerable amount of interest monies. However, the V&T bonds, it was decided by bond counsel that we should wait on approving refunding those bonds until December, as it was felt that more monies could be gleaned if we waited. The return on investment would be better. Then a public hearing was opened on the intent of Carson City to issue general obligation infrastructure sales tax bonds secured by pledged revenues in an amount of up to $13,600,000 to finance the cost of acquiring, establishing, constructing, expanding, improving, and equipping various city infrastructure projects. The meeting was open for comment. No one commented, and the public meeting was closed. Public hearing was closed. Then the district attorney brought before us a amicus brief that he requested that we join in with the Henderson City Attorney's Office, North Las Vegas, Clark County, and the City of Reno, as the courts have decided that Reno did not have the right to lay off firefighters. And because of the distinct challenges that puts city jurisdictions in terms of budgets and so forth, it was felt that we should join in that amicus brief to challenge that decision. Then the Health and Human Services brought before us one of the larger issues of the day, and that was redefining the schedule for the animal shelter ordinance. And so it was a second reading for that particular ordinance. The purpose of that actually was to re-specify the fees that animal shelter charges to keep them more in line with the Nevada Humane Society's fees, which brings me to the next agenda item, and that was approval of the lease for professional animal services and in the enforcement agreement between Carson City and the Nevada Humane Society. There was a lot of passionate discussion on this issue, and this decision has not come without a lot of forethought, a lot of conversation, a lot of research into how we should best handle the animal shelter and services going forward. Personally, I have met with Senator Ben Kiekefer, who is on the board for the Nevada Humane Society, along with Mindy Elliott, who was present at yesterday's meeting, and they themselves invest into the Nevada Humane Society of their own monies because they believe strongly in its mission for the humane treatment of animals. The long and short of it is Carson City is getting much more for their money in the approval of this contract between the Nevada Humane Society and the City of Carson City to run the animal shelter and enforcement services. For the $700,000 that we invest, the Carson City and its citizens get over $1 million worth of services. Nevada Humane Society has an excellent reputation, the ability to handle animal control, which is more about code enforcement, and the volunteer capacity to help expand our volunteer services. With that being said, it definitely raises the bar on the quality of animal care in this community. Their reputation is at stake. They do want to see this be a model program for Northern Nevada. And so the board passed this unanimously, and I myself personally am very grateful to have the Nevada Humane Society take on our animal service needs. And then the day ended with another big discussion, and that was on medical marijuana and fees to be charged to those applying for medical marijuana business licenses. Again, this was another passionate discussion on all sides of the fence. One thing that the Board of Supervisors had maintained is that when we voted medical marijuana establishments to be allowed in Carson City, it was about accessibility for those who need medical marijuana. And it was about the ability of these businesses to do business to supply that need. So in discussing the fees, there was a lot that needed to be determined. We heard from people that are in the business elsewhere, what the cost is to set up that business, what law enforcement is needed or not needed, what social needs or social costs are attached to this. But in the end, after much deliberation and discussion, the fees that were decided on were $25,000 annually for a dispensary, $20,000 fee for cultivation, $15,000 business license fee for production, and a $5,000 business license fee for laboratories. Now, this decision will be looked at in a year to see how feasible, how practical, if our needs have increased, if our social costs have increased because of the legalization of having these medical marijuana establishments in our community. And then we will determine, the board will determine at that time if these fees need to be raised, if they're appropriate, if they create an undue problem for businesses to do business. But we appreciate the intelligent discussion that went on was appreciated by all who are involved in this and care very much about it. That pretty much wrapped up the day for the Board of Supervisors meeting. I thank you for your time and attention. Bye now.